and welcome to my channel. My name is Juliet Maguire and I review cars for a living. Have been doing so for 19 years. And so if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Because today I'm in what is possibly my favorite bakkie on the market at the moment. And it is gonna shock you maybe, but it is the Kia Tasman. Now, you may, if you're a subscriber, have seen the quickie with Jules, which was after the launch that I attended. So I spent a lot of time. In fact, I think we did sort of 9 hours in this car, going off-road, going everywhere in it. A lot of tar driving, a lot of off-roading, like I say. So I've really gotten to grips with it, okay? Now, let's be frank, it's quite a controversial bakkie. Not only is it Kia's first attempt at a bakkie, but it also is quite polarizing in design. Now, I've just had the Land Cruiser FJ, and some of my friends named it the pig because they think it looks like a pig. I don't think that it does, actually. And it just made me realize again just how subjective design is. Like, you can't please everybody. And I quite like when something's a little bit different. Also, I know it's a huge thing for people. A lot of people won't buy a car based on looks alone. I get that because you got to look at it. I think it's because I see so many cars, like from a reviewing perspective, that, I don't know, I'm always like more about the bones, do you know? But you know what's not subjective? Is getting yourself up to 13 quote from hippo.co.za on their new website, no doubt, which is easier to use and so fun. It just is like very cool and very trendy. I put my details in with this car and got 998 Rand a month with an excess of 9.5. That was the best quote I could get. Let me know what quote you would get. So when you don't know where to start with insurance, go to hippo.co.za to compare quotes and find better. Now, I quite like that this bakkie's a bit of an review to the bakkie enthusiasts, you know? Why not? Why come out and use like the template? Like, I think one of my colleagues, Dennis Dropper, put it so perfectly. Like, it's no paint by numbers bakkie, which the rest are, if let's be bloody honest about it. So it's nice to see something so different. And then if you can look beyond the design, okay, which you should be able to, and get inside, you will be in what I deem the best bakkie interior on the market, hands down. Now, that's quite a statement, but guys, honestly, this doesn't even feel like you're in a bakkie when you're in here. That's how sort of refined and lovely it is. So I'm in the top of the range. I'm in the X Pro, so it's like the flagship. And it comes in at like 5 Rand less than a mil. If you want to color code it, it's like 5 grand more or something. But I actually think it's very competitively priced. This comes with everything. So just the look alone, okay, my goodness. So you've got a 12.3-inch infotainment screen here, then a little 5-inch aircon screen, which is a bit of a bummer because it sits behind the steering wheel for me. So that's not great, but I don't think it's too much of a problem for most people, maybe. It just does get a bit covered. But then you've got this 12.3-inch instrument cluster as well, and all together just looks amazing. You also get yourself heated and ventilated seats, a heated steering wheel, wireless charger, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. What I love is it's got actual buttons as well, not just a touch screen. So you've got like a little volume rolly button here. Fabulous. You've also got like temperature gauges, and media goes straight. You can press here and then it goes back to what you want on the screen. Love that. Okay, very functional. It's also got this like quilted artificial leather. And guys, the space in here, like in the rear especially, it's a very comfortable place to be. Again, doesn't actually feel or look like you're in a bakkie. And I think that's probably one of my favorite things about it. Because you know me, I'm not like a huge bakkie fan because I actually don't find them to be very practical. Which someone asked me the other day, they were like, what are you talking about? Someone on YouTube was like, what are you talking about? Like, bakkies are so practical. And I was like, not when you throw your groceries in the back there. You tell me how you get those on there. Like, fair point. Okay. But I find this, because the interior is so nice, like I said, I spent a lot of time in it to go on a road trip in this. Fab. Oh, it's also got a Harman Kardon sound system nogal. Also got ambient lighting. Oh, yeah. Very pretty. Very nice. I also love these headrests, guys. They're just different and they're also very comfortable. Very comfy. Okay, you don't want to get too comfortable while you're driving, but if you're in the passenger seat, which I was a lot of as well, super comfortable. My back didn't get sore because it's got a lumbar support on this one anyways, but even as a passenger, like after long drives, like long stints in it, my butt wasn't sore. So this is the same setup as most bakkies, I guess. So it's ladder frame chassis. You've got the independent front suspension, rear leaf springs. It's like, to me, actually, this is probably one of the best rides as well. A lot of people compare it to the Ranger. The Ranger's got a very good ride, like very good ride quality. I think that this one's better. And a lot of my colleagues on the launch didn't feel that. A few people had some issues. That can also come down to the tires. We were like 4x4 and then we weren't and stuff. So maybe it had something to do with that. But again, I've now had this for a week and I can tell you, I find this to be very comfortable. A very comfortable everyday drive. Maneuvers around the city very easily. And then, of course, once you're on that highway, you've got enough power and oomph because across the range, you've got a 2.2-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel, which is a tuned version of the exact same engine that is in the Sorento and my favorite car on the planet just about, which is the Kia Carnival. So already this was going to do wonders, okay, for me, even though it's different, but it's same, but different. If you relate it to the Carnival, I'm all for it. So it's got 154 kilowatts of power and 440 newton meters of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed auto. Now, what I found to be very impressive as well is the fuel consumption. So it's claimed at like 7.8 liters per 100 Ks, which is not always obviously achievable in real world circumstances. However, we saw readings in the 8s when I was on the launch, and after this week, I've sort of seen between like 8.7, 8.8 and like 9, which I think is really good, actually. That is very good. So it's got 1,000 kilogram payload. It's got a 252 millimeter ground clearance. It's also got all the 4x4. It's got your rear diff lock. You've got all these modes. So you've got 2 high automatic 4-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. You've got drive modes and terrain modes. So you can go into eco. Oh, I'm into sport now. Eco, which I've just been in the whole time. And then you've got snow, mud, rock, sand, whatever. And again, we did go in a lot of sand with this. We had no issues. Do you know what? Often I have to say this, like 4x4ing, after having done countless hours of 4x4ing, often comes down to the driver and not actually the vehicle. So it's always hard to say, like on a launch, like someone gets stuck, you're like, well, that was the driver, do you know? Because the car is certainly capable on sand, rock, off-road, everything. Bearing in mind, this was built for like Australia, which is similar to South Africa, but even tougher terrain. And even the Korean special armed forces, I don't know what you call them, even they were involved in the production of this car. So, or the making of it, etc. So it's been through rigorous testing. And I think it is an extraordinary first attempt. I don't even want to say an attempt because I think it's like something that was achieved and is now here. And I love that it's sort of ruffling bakkie feathers. I mean, I'm going to put up another statement here. I'm putting out loads of statements about this bakkie because you can tell that I'm a fan. And I know I'm always a Kia fan, right? I get that. Like, although I have to say, like, the Seltos isn't my best. So there is a model or two within the Kia range that is not my favorite. But it's because I spend so much time with this car and nothing pissed me off, but also so much left me impressed that I have to give like kudos to it. Do you know, because I think a lot of people have been so negative or so skeptical about it. And I can't stand it when people are like that for no reason. Unless you've driven it. Like, people look at it and have something to say about it in like, oh my gosh, ridiculous, and. But once you get your bum in it, you're going to change your mind. I can guarantee it, actually, that you will change your mind. Because I think it is probably the most refined bakkie on the market as well. It is right up there with Hilux and Ranger and Isuzu, but more refined. Why don't you want that? Those are excellent bakkies, right? They're the best of the best. They're at the top. So you're going to get that with this refinement. The only maybe down the only, what's the word? Negative, or maybe skepticism, or potentially, what's when you're scared or something? When you, not fear. The only caution, I don't even know what the word is, okay, but what is maybe that you won't know what the resale value will be like this, and it's not Toyota. And Toyota, that brand strength, that dealer footprint, that servicing, that you find them anywhere. You can overland that crap out of a Hilux into any bloody, across Africa, basically. And you'll be fine. Kia, not as much. Okay. But if you take that away and understand why you're buying a bakkie, because a lot of people are buying a bakkie not to go overlanding, right? They're not going into Botswana in it. And they're also using it every day to day, and potentially to go away on the weekends and whatever. You're going to be fine from that point of view. Resale, I can't help you there yet. But Kia's a strong brand, and they do really well. So it's not like an unknown brand. If you don't get your backside into a Kia Tasman this minute, we can't be friends. We can't. But I also want you to tell me all about it when you do put your bum in. Look how beautiful it is. I do love it. Can you tell? Maybe I praised it too much. Maybe I must find some things that irritate me. But I can't. I mean, looking. I want it. And I never want a bakkie. Never. Oh, but she'd be so pretty. Sure, most people have stopped watching by this point, but if you haven't, thank you for staying with me till the very end. I do apologize. This is when I start going my most insane, I think.